It's football season, and we're talking about Week 1 scores. I'm going to use the scores from Week 1 in the NFL to talk about outliers and modified box plots. Here are the numbers, the same numbers that were on your assignment in class. You should have already found the 5-number summary, and you didn't grab a box plot, but you did a histogram. But we can do that very quickly. I've already got the numbers typed into my TI. I'll be using the TI Casio. You know how to use yours to get the graph. So I zoom 9, and boom, there's my box plot. And of course, I can get the 5-number summary by hitting trace and reading it right off the data. So I want to see, we know that the Broncos scored 49 points and that Peyton Manning tied a record for most touchdowns in a game. We want to see if that was an outlier for Week 1. So we're going to use the outlier rule, which is 1.5 times the IQR. So we'll find the upper and lower cutoffs for outliers in the NFL data. First, we need the 5-number summary. So we have a 5-number summary, which is the min, Q1, median, Q3, and the max. So the minimum was 2, Q1 was 17, median was 23.5, Q3 was 28, and the max was 49. So those are basically the only numbers I need in order to determine if there are any outliers or not. First thing we're going to do is we're going to find the IQR. Recall that the IQR is Q3 minus Q1. So in this case, it's going to be 28 minus 17, which is 11. We're going to take that number and multiply it by 1.5. So 1.5 times 11, which is 16.5. Now, that number is going to be added to Q3 to get the upper cutoff. So upper is Q3 plus 1.5 times IQR. So our Q3 in this case was 28 plus 16.5 equals 44.5. That's my upper cutoff. The lower cutoff is going to be Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR. So we're going to take our lower quartile, which is Q1, subtract 16.5, and get 0.5. Now, in using real data, that may be a negative number, and that's okay. It just would happen that there would be no lower quartiles, or lower cutoff. So this 44.5 is our upper cutoff. Now, if there are any numbers bigger than that, they're considered outliers. So if I scroll back up to my data, I have at least one from my 5-number summary. If I go back and look at the data, I can see that there is only one number that's above that, that's 49. So in this case, 49 is an outlier. 49 points is an outlier. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to graph that separately, all right, on a modified box plot. So modified box plot is outliers are graphed separately. So basically what we're going to do is we graph the first numbers the same. So we have the min, which was, let's see, 2. We have Q1, which was 17. We have the median, which was 23.5. And we had Q3, which was 28. Okay, now, our max was 49. Of course, this is not to scale. If you were doing this on your paper, you would do it to scale. The max is 49. I'm going to graph that separately. So, if I go back here and look at my data, my cutoff was as we said, 44.5. So anything less than that is going to be my new kind of end of the list here. So as I scan through here, I see that the next highest number is 36 here. And I could also get that from putting these in order. It takes a little bit of time. So my next highest number is 36. It's not an outlier. So I'm going to graph that as my actual, not actual ending point, but that number is going to be 36. Now I'm going to put it in parentheses because it's not the max. 49 is still the max. It just happens to be an outlier also. So don't say that the data goes, has a spread of 2 to 36. We've got our min, Q1, median, Q3. It doesn't change the spread of the numbers. It's just saying, hey, most of the numbers were in this area. It just so happened that Peyton Manning's a beast and they scored more points. Okay, so that's a modified Boxplot. Now you can do that on the graphic calculator pretty easily. I'll show you on the TI first, and then I'll show you on the Casio real quick. So when you're in your stat plot and you're in here picking which graph you want, there are two types of box plots. One that has the dots on the end and one that just goes to the end. You, from this point forward, only want to put the ones with the dots. Now what it's actually going to do is, when you zoom 9 that bad boy, you're going to get that outlier graph separately. So if I trace, see the min is 2, 17, 23.5, 28, 36, and then of course my outlier of 49. On the Casio, you have your numbers in here, and when you go to your settings, all you do is you go down to outliers and you turn them on. And then when you graph, now I don't have the same data in here, but when you graph that data, you'll get something that looks like this. So again, there it is on the Casio and the TI. That's a modified box plot where the outliers are graphed separately.